Hi, it's Dr. Sandy Queen at Queen Homeschool Supplies, and I'm continuing with my video series on the Charlotte Mason approach. I want to talk to you today about the third part of that quote that I've been sharing for the last couple of days. Education is an atmosphere, a discipline, a life. And today we're going to talk about the part that says education is a life. And I like to interpret that as education is a lifestyle. So when education becomes your lifestyle, then your whole life is an opportunity for learning, and that's going to look very different for every family. All of this that I'm covering in this video series is laid out in our little book, Meet Charlotte Mason, An Introduction to Her Methods, which you can buy at queenhomeschool.com. So I want to make sure I put that out there as well. So for us, for every homeschool family, there's going to be many daily opportunities where you can integrate your children into those opportunities and make it a learning experience. And as a busy mom, sometimes it's much easier for us to say, you know what, it's just easier if I just do this myself and get it done than it is to take the additional time to train our children to do those same tasks. But it's going to benefit all of you in the long run to take that extra time. And I'll talk about that in a totally different video series that I'm planning to do at another time. But anyhow, some of the things that come into all of our lives at one point or another that can easily be integrated as a learning experience would be something like baking. Let's say you're baking, you're going in to bake bread or something for your family, and you just want to get it done, but then you think, you know what, this could be a real learning experience for my children as well. They could learn, I could teach them about the differences between baking from scratch versus buying a loaf of bread in the store. I can teach them the differences between white wheat and whole wheat. I can teach them about gluten intolerance and how different grains are used to make bread. There's so many different things. Cooking and baking also, you can talk about nutrition as well as math. You can integrate doubling and tripling recipes or cutting a recipe in half and teach some skills there in addition to just the art of cooking or baking. If you have a new baby in the house, there's a whole curriculum right there. Child development, child nutrition, all those sorts of things, how to take care of an infant. Gardening, you can talk about organic gardening versus conventional gardening and pesticides and the harms that they can cause and how to enrich the soil and the layers of the soil. And we have a whole course in our Discovering Nature and Science series, Mary's Meadow. Let me show it to you. I wasn't planning to talk about it yet, but it's this one right here, which is a course on botany that I'll talk about more in the next video. But anyhow, my battery's dying, so let me go ahead and plug my phone in and hold this here. But anyhow, so there are many different opportunities that you're going to have that my family wouldn't have because of your family's lifestyle. And likewise, my family being involved in the publishing industry and being involved in owning a wellness center, we're going to have opportunities that your family's not going to have. So every family's going to have different opportunities to use everyday life as a learning experience for your children. For my kids, one of those, of course, revolved around publishing books. And when my two oldest daughters were in high school, we took over a small publishing company that we had carried their books, and they were going to close up shop and asked if we would like to take over publication of the books that they had been publishing that we had already been carrying. So of course we said, yes, we want to do that. And so at that time I had two daughters in high school who we wanted to change the formatting of those books a bit. And so each of those daughters there were two books mainly. Each of them got the job to typeset one of those books, and they were science books. And each of them, then after they typeset those books, they switched and proofread the one that her sister had typed. And so not only did they get much experience in typing, but they got a real heavy load of science. And then they got to design the covers for those books. Our printer liked one of those covers so much that he wanted to print extra copies to use to give prospective clients as samples of their work. And so my 17-year-old daughter at the time who had designed that cover thought that was kind of cool that her book cover was going to be used as a sample to show the printer's work. So that was an opportunity that came our way because of what we do. And one of those science books turned out to be parables from nature in our Discovering Nature and Science series, so which is a high school, upper junior high to high school science course. And so it was just a story at that time, but we made it into a curriculum, which you can find on our website at queenhomeschool.com under the Discovering Nature and Science series. But also, you know, just because of the fact that we're in publishing, I started writing our Pictures in Cursive series, which you may have seen or used, has won many different worldwide awards for cursive handwriting using full color artwork as the base for the lessons. And I started writing this series for my son Evan to learn cursive. But I found that, you know, my kids could help me write some of these books by helping me come up with the sentences and stuff like that. So it was something that I was able to integrate into my kids' daily work as well because of what we do. So look at what your family does. Look at the opportunities that your family has that are unique to your family or that are common things like baking and cooking, and see how you can integrate those into your child's daily learning experiences.